Hello everybody, thank you for coming to my channel today and checking out another video. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by and checking things out. If you're a returning viewer, I really appreciate your support. Today I got what I think is going to be a pretty good video. I am going to do a series of videos that are aimed towards the new bike owner or the person who wants to start doing some of their own work on their bikes. Everything from like oil changes to chain maintenance. Today, we're going to be doing a battery installation. I have my 2020 Kawasaki Ninja 400. It's got the OEM battery in it, which as of today would be about 4 years old, probably closer to 5. And I'm going to install a Bike Master lithium battery. It's going to be a broad overview of what to do. I'm going to take you step by step into the process that I use to install the battery. There's not going to be a lot of detail as far as, charging systems or anything like that. Basically, if you own a bike, you want to change the battery, but you've never done it before and you don't want to take it to somebody to have them do it for you, I'm going to show you that you can do it for yourself. It's going to be a short video, 10, 15 minutes tops. And in there, you're going to see the basics for removing your old battery, installing a new battery, making the connections, and I'm going to be adding in a battery lead, a battery tender lead, so you can hook up a charger to your battery. One thing to remember, and I mentioned this in the video, when you're using a lithium battery, you have to have a lithium battery charger. You can't take your regular old car charger, motorcycle chargers for lead acid batteries and use it into a lithium battery. The reason being the charge rate is not going to be enough. A lithium battery requires a little higher charge rate and a more consistent charge rate, and some of your older lead acid battery chargers are not going to be able to support that. So make sure that if you've decided you're going to put a lithium battery in and take your old battery out, and your old battery is a lead acid or an AGM battery, that you're going to be using the right lithium battery charger for it. The process is really simple. Stay with me, watch the video. I hope you get something out of it. If you have any questions, comment below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. This battery was purchased by myself. I'm not sponsored by anybody, unfortunately. Anybody wants to sponsor me, reach out. I'd be more than interested. But no, this battery was purchased by myself. I believe I believe that I paid around $90 for the battery, maybe a little bit more, 90 to 100, in that neighborhood, which really isn't that bad. Usually a battery for a motorcycle is 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks. So to pay a little bit more for a lithium battery, it was a good deal, I thought. You could pay a lot more. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's jump into the video and hopefully you get something out of it. Okay, thanks for watching. Let's get started. Okay, thanks for coming back to another episode on Florida Two-Wheel Adventures. Today what I'm going to be doing is installing this Bike Master lithium-ion battery into a 2020 Kawasaki Ninja 400. The model number on this particular battery is BMP9-FP. BMP9-FP. Today is the very first time I'm ever going to be installing a lithium battery. Any motorized vehicle, this is the first time I'm going to be using a lithium battery. So what this package says is our lithium-ion batteries deliver a heavyweight power punch and a featherweight package. I'll give them that much. This battery weighs next to nothing. There again is the side label if you want to take a look at that. And of course, it's made in China, which I don't know if there's any lithium battery that's not made in China. Now, I've already taken the battery out of the box because you have to charge it up first, which is an important note. If you're going to do a lithium battery, you got to have a lithium battery charger. A regular battery charger is not going to work on a lithium battery. I don't know what the problem would be. I imagine that the charge rate is different for a regular lead acid battery or an AGM, absorbed glass matte battery, than it is for a lithium battery. But you're not supposed to use one. So I just happen to have one. I didn't need to go buy one. But if you don't have a charger specifically for lithium batteries, you have to get one. Now, the reason I chose this, in addition to the price, this was the cheapest lithium battery you could buy, is it came with this little push button here that you can check the battery voltage. Press and hold it. And it tells me that it's at 15.1 volts. And then it gives you a little battery indicator over there. Press it again. tells you that it is 100 SOC. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not going to lie. But you can see that yourself. Press it again. The battery is at 28 Celsius. That's room temperature, whatever that comes out to be in Fahrenheit. And we're back to the 15 volts. So when you want to turn that off, you press and hold it again. And there it goes. Comes out of the package. It's going to have these plastic covers on there. You're not going to need those. Those just come right off. You leave them on there, though, while you're installing the battery so you don't accidentally short it out. In addition to that, I'm going to be installing this Battery Tender brand battery charging lead. It allows you to easily connect to any battery tender charger type. You can put a float charger on a motorcycle or any vehicle that you have the battery in. So those are the two things we're going to do today. This should be a really simple video. Let's get into it. So the first thing you got to do on a Kawasaki Ninja is take off the rear seats. I'm not going to go through in detail on how to access the battery. If you don't know, then read your owner's manual. And now you are looking at your battery. The battery is going to be held in with a clamp right here just to keep it down and in place. Looks like it's got maybe it could be a 10 millimeter, might be an 8 millimeter bolt in there. And then these are your two leads. Now, one thing that you're going to want to remember when you're taking out a battery or installing the battery, the first lead you always disconnect is the negative first. Another thing that's not a bad idea is to make sure this area is generally clean before you jump into doing anything with it. In the package, at least this box, I'm sure every other one's like it, you're going to be presented with some directions, an owner's manual. It's going to go through some pretty important stuff, how to test your battery's charging system to make sure that you're having a problem with your battery and not your charging system, because that's going to be important. You go put a brand new battery in a bike that's having problems charging, you're going to kill the new battery. Battery is at least 4 years old, and in Florida, batteries don't last that long, and they're going to die on you. You're also going to get your terminal connectors, an assortment of styrofoam padding, and that's it. There's nothing else in the box. So we can dispose of the box. We'll set these aside, take the bolt out, and remove that plate. I'm just using a little extension in a long socket here. Take your bolt out. There are those two things right there. That's holding your battery down and in place. Set those to the side. Don't lose them, as I promptly begin to lose mine. Just put these in my pocket. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the negative battery. I think that's going to be a 10, and it is. So you got an 8 millimeter for this and a 10 for this. Nope, that was not very tight at all. Surprised that wasn't giving me a problem. If you want to wear gloves while you're doing this, latex gloves, by all means, go ahead and do that. Batteries can tend to leak out some acid and corrosion, and you don't want to be touching that. If you see some corrosion or acid leakage on your battery, obviously you can clean it up first. The product that I like to use is this product by CRC, a battery cleaner. Instantly detects leaks, neutralizes acid, so it'll neutralize anything that's there. And then after you install it, you can spray some of this on top of it, on top of your battery posts here to keep corrosion from occurring. I probably won't be using those on this today. And then the same deal here, just come in here. Again, very, very loose. Now your battery's disconnected. Your bike's got no power going to it. Now we need to get this battery up and out. This shouldn't be a problem, but they sometimes can be a little fiddly to get out. As I say, it shouldn't be too bad. Now I should be able to pull this battery up and out. It still is giving me a little bit of a problem. All right, there we go. There's the battery out, and here is your battery compartment. There's no drain holes or anything you got to worry about keeping clean. I don't know if this is the factory battery that Kawasaki uses or not. I assume that it is. Yes. In the US, distributed by Kawasaki Motors. Here's the relative size comparison. So you can see the lithium battery is going to be shorter, narrower, a lot, and it is considerably lighter. This feels like it weighs 7 or 8 pounds. Anywhere between 5 and 8 pounds, I would say this thing weighs. This weighs nothing. This is, well, there goes one of those plastic caps. I told you they're just setting on there. Now, when you set this down inside there, I'd like to bring this up to about that height. We'll set these, let's just set them in here for now. There we go. I like that. So you want to make sure that when you're installing this, you're giving yourself room. Your cables are only so long, so make sure you got the room. Try to place them in the right area. You know, you can figure this out on your own. I can't possibly explain every different scenario for you. So now this is clean and free of any debris, but it's dirty. Let me clean that up a little bit. I think what I'll choose to use is a little bit of brake parts cleaner. Brake parts cleaner evaporates really quickly. I'll just spray some of that on a rag here, and we'll go in there and wipe it down. Brake parts cleaner is really effective at cleaning up residue. Okay, that's done. Now that that's clean in there, I can pull off this protective cover, exposing the sticky side. I just stuck that down in the bottom of the box. Check your battery again. Now remember, that bracket that we got is gonna go right here. So that's, oh, I'm glad I just said that. This bracket's gonna go right here, right under my screen. Well, I'll be damned. That presents a problem. Ideally, I would take this like this, turn it around, and position the battery. The bolt can go in there, it can go right there and hold it in place. That's how I would like to have it. That would be my preferred way of installing it. But as you can see, when you try to do that, your cables have limits as to how much they can move and where they can move to. I may have to figure something out differently with this. This is what I'm gonna do. The bracket, I'm not gonna use it. Okay, it's irritating me because of how it's covering up the screen, it's pressing on the screen, it's getting in the way entirely. So I have taken all the padding off everything that's here except for around the battery case. The battery has got padding on the sides that's holding it so it's not moving forward and back. Okay, it's not flopping around this way. It's pretty tight in there this way regardless of any foam padding. And then when I put the cables down on top of that, it's gonna stop it from going anywhere. So the bracket, I'm just not gonna use it. I'm gonna leave it in the bike. If I ever go back and change this to a regular battery, the bracket will be here that I could turn around and put in there and hold the battery in place appropriately. The smaller lithium battery probably has advantages. I probably wouldn't put another one back in this bike when this one eventually goes bad. Take a look at this battery tender. No instructions or anything for that. You just red to red, black to black. And then route it where you want it. And here's what you're dealing with. Cable ends with an inline fuse, 7.5. And then on the other end, you've got your SAE connection. And many of your chargers will come with this kind of a connection to it. Now the important part with this is to make sure that you're getting this end out somewhere that you can access it. You can just leave it under your seat, which is what I will probably end up doing. I'll probably just take this and run it back here to the passenger compartment. Take off your cover, and the kit comes with some hardware here. And you'll see you got 4 different bolts. We're gonna use these 2 fellas. It's gonna go on top, put your screw in there, start it in by hand. Right away, what I'm noticing, I wanna have as little strain on that cable, on any of my cables, as little strain on them as possible. So something like that looks good to me. Come behind it with a socket for final tightness. Off. Turn the key on. Now let's listen to it crank. No problem. That's it. Okay, so there you have it. That's a lithium battery install, a Bike Master lithium battery install into a 2020 Kawasaki Ninja 400. Not really too many things to write home about with it. Fairly simple, straightforward install. That little battery bracket was a bit of a problem. I'm sure somebody will come up with a better solution to it than I did. I didn't really give it any thought. I didn't think it was going to be an issue. So that's it. Comment below, like, subscribe if you found this helpful at all. And I appreciate everybody watching. Ride safe.